people as girls and boys, men and women. We think about people in terms of gender immediately. What else is likely to be on the top of someone's mind? Chronically accessible. Either most people or a particular type of person. Yeah. Say it again. Races? Yeah, demographic races. I'd say yes. Age, race, those kind of big, what social psychologists sometimes called master statuses, because they're sort of these fundamental categories that we use to make sense of people. Race, gender, age. Okay, those are master statuses. Yes, I'd argue they're chronically accessible for most of us. Yeah. Okay, maybe more so for some people than others. Okay, maybe for people who grew up at a certain socioeconomic status and are always trying to get ahead. Let's say maybe they're very attuned because they're always thinking about how to get ahead. So they're always ready to categorize people in terms of like high or low SES. Okay, what else? Yeah. Okay, like what exactly? Hot or not, whatever that website is, okay? Some of us may be more inclined to categorize and see the world through those lenses. Are you hot or not, hot or not, hot or not? Hopefully not, most of us are not. Judging people along those lines all the time, but definitely plausible as a pretty darn accessible schema. Another example, one last one. Yeah. A self-schema, yes. Okay, let's admit it, we think about ourselves a lot of the time. Okay, yes, I know, shocking. We think about ourselves a lot of the time. And we view the world through the lenses of our self-knowledge. Is it any wonder that we are often judging people along trait dimensions that we think about ourselves a lot along? Okay, yeah, self-schemas. And one of my personal favorites, again, because I do research on this, is our schemas about relationships, significant others. By definition, significant others are people that are important to us, and things that are important to us we think a lot about. So is it any wonder that our ideas about what boyfriends are like, parents are like, significant others in general are colored a lot by significant other schemas that are pretty accessible on average for everyone? You with me? It's on hand, yeah. Yes. It's a terrific question. Okay, I think what you're not articulating is something that you intuitively know, which is that the more practiced and chronically accessible a schema is, so chronically accessible schemas are well practiced. Okay, you've done that over and over again. Just like behavioral habits that are well practiced, I twitch my leg all the time, maybe when I'm sitting there. It's harder to break those habits because the more you've done it, the more ingrained that physical habit is. So true for cognitive habits. Okay, the more you think about the world in terms of hot or not, you want to change that. It's going to take a lot more effort to change that cognitive habit, just like it takes a lot more effort to change physical habits you've done longer that are more ingrained. Okay, yeah. We're going to talk more about that in a second. Yeah. You mean the particular direction? Yeah. Not necessarily. I would say, though, that the issue is on top of your mind. And you can be independent in terms of your judgment about it. But you're somebody who can be very fluent in talking about that, who can readily process information about that. If someone's going to bring up an argument about that, you're ready to go. Let's talk. Okay, but not necessarily your opinion about it. Okay? I'm going to get there in a second. Yeah.
This is similar to 2 questions ago, but like in terms of, for example, my parents raised me religiously.
Okay.
I stopped being religious in college, but occasionally when I'm sad or tired or something, I find myself resorting back to this certain old schema I had concerning myself and my worldview. So is there been any research concerning when you feel threatened or more likely to use old schemas, or how does schema change?
I mean, that is just so interesting. So her question is, when you're threatened, well, it's kind of two different things. When you're threatened or maybe tired, sad, these negative sorts of things, are you more likely to fall back on schemas that maybe have other knowledge now sort of memory trying to counteract them or that are different from them? And I think there are many ways I can answer that question. It's so interesting. But the one way I will right now is it's very related to her question in the sense that when you're sad or threatened, your cognitive resources are taxed. That means you don't have a lot to spare, not much gas in the tank. When you don't have much gas in the tank, you do the easier thing, which is to rely on the more well-practiced thing, which is going to be your old schemas. At some point, the newer thoughts that you have, your non-religious beliefs, may start to rival in accessibility your old habits, and they can win the race when you're tired. But early on, it's so easy to fall back on old habits, especially when you don't have the mental resources to devote to making more accessible or adhering to the newer beliefs. Okay, you guys are jumping ahead. It's terrific. Was there a question here? Yeah. Like September 11th? What? Okay, but it doesn't have to be just the event happening. It's that you've thought about the event a lot. So if you're someone who's read every article about September 11th when it came out, that can have the same kind of impact. Okay, so about thinking, making this accessible. Okay, it's not about September 11th having happened so many times. Okay? Question, yes? Okay, I just want to give you guys a collective hug. Okay, these are terrific questions. Okay, what you're picking up on, and it's a great research methods lesson as well, is that what is chronically accessible for each of us varies. Yeah, gender is probably chronically accessible for everyone, but most things, a lot of things, are different. And so if you're pre-selecting people on that basis, you're not randomly assigning. You're measuring what's chronically accessible. So there is some issue about causality. It's a little bit difficult. So that's point one. And just so you get a clear sense of how do you measure what's chronically accessible. Let's say you want to find out what are my participants' most important chronically accessible goals in life. One way that researchers do that, and this is very face valid, very intuitive, is they will give you a list, an empty page of blank lines, and say, please list your top 10 most important life goals. And they will infer chronic accessibility by what? The order in which you generate them. Right? The thing that's on the top of your mind. It seems to make a lot of sense that that's what's going to come out first. Okay, so we assume that things that come out first are more chronically accessible. Okay, that's still the personality problem, right? You're selecting people who come into the lab with these goals already chronically accessible or not. But you can also create chronic accessibility in the lab by repeatedly exposing or repeatedly having people think about a certain concept or idea and so forth. Okay, so there are ways around that issue. Okay? Okay. Last one, and I love this principle, even though it's neglected a lot, because it's really actually so fundamental. You've got an available and an accessible schema. So you've got something in your head, someone brought it to the top of your mind, you're ready to go. Is it going to influence your judgments? It depends on applicability. It depends on whether there's some degree of match or fit or relevance between the schema and the to-be interpreted stimulus information out there. And I'll give you examples of what I mean by that. So I don't care how available or how accessible I make something in your heads, okay, in your minds. If it has no bearing or relevance to the target person or the situation I want you to interpret, I'm not going to see any priming or accessibility effects. Okay, so I could prime you to the tilt with Asian stereotypes and then show you I mean, an absurd example, a picture of a car. This is not going to influence your judgment of the car. Okay, if one group got primed with Asian over the top, the other didn't, and everybody judged this car, there's not going to be any differences between the two groups, unless there's some weird association between Asian and cars, which maybe there are, but still, you get my point. So too, if I prime the heck out of you, black stereotype in one condition, non-black stereotype in another condition, and I show you a white target person, I'm probably not going to see much differences in your interpretation of that white person, because the black stereotype is not particularly relevant to this very clearly white target. Okay, what worked in this study, what didn't work, but what worked in the actual study is that they deliberately, like I said, created that vignette about Sue to be applicable, to have conceited or self-confident or arrogant, whatever. It was applicable. Both of them were applicable in moderate degrees. If I showed you a vignette about Sue going to the grocery store and buying Wheaties, and then she went home and went to bed, I could prime you with self-confidence and what have you. I'm not going to see differences across the conditions, because there's nothing particularly for the conceited or self-confident schema to shape interpretations of. You with me? Someone give me an example so I know you're with me. Of this notion of applicability, fit, relevance. Okay, we don't just apply schemas willy-nilly. We are sensitive, thankfully, at least somewhat to the data out there. Yeah. Okay, tell me if I'm getting where you're going, because I'm of course applying my schema, so what your example is. I don't know PTSD that well, thankfully, but I mean, my lay understanding of PTSD is sort of an over-applicability problem. You are over-applying interpretations of things relevant to your trauma. And in that case, right, we're hallucinating, we're seeing more. That's a case of applicability failure, overly applying, right? Whereas the average person knows that September 11th was a pretty rare event. So they're not going to use this event and apply it to just anything or too much. They're going to be more sensitive to the relevance of fit. Does that go along a little bit of what you're thinking?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know developmental differences, but it's possible. It's possible. I mean, that makes me think of also, when I think developmentally, I think of children as, when they're learning a particular concept, they may over-apply it, right? So, they may over-apply their doggy schema to cats, because they're not realizing that the fact that it's a cat makes that totally inapplicable. Although, as an adult, you might see some applicability because there's an animal fit there, okay? But I think you get my point, okay? There could be over-applying, but most of the time, we hopefully are sensitive that there's some degree of fit. We all have friends out there, and we're all guilty of applying schemas where we shouldn't, okay? But thankfully, most of the time, we're driven or guided by, in part, applicability principle, okay? So to recap, don't write this down, because you can just get it from the website, okay? You're going to get what we have been talking about this last lecture and a half, schema-driven thinking. So long as you have an available schema, it's rendered accessible in some way, either chronically or temporarily, and then it's applicable, at least to some minimal degree, to the stimulus you're trying to assess people's interpretations of. This leads to schema-driven thinking. All of this, it sounds like, man, you gotta go through all these steps, but it happens like that. And it happens all the time, okay? Okay, which of the following, let's do a little, making sure we're all on the same page. Let's do a little, which of the following is the best example of priming? Evan immediately notices the gender of every person he encounters. Evan assumes that the person wearing the Stanford sweatshirt is arrogant. Evan starts ruminating about the bad grade he got on his chemistry test after getting off the phone with his parents who are pushing him to go pre-med. Evan is quick to say yes when his friends ask if he wants to go get pizza with them. 250, good. Show results. Ooh, nice, okay, yes, that's right. It's the pre-med example. For those of you who chose B, or those of you who chose A or D, I hope there was a little finger problem there. Those of you who chose B and C, can we talk a little bit about why C is more correct than B? Someone out there? Not those of you who chose B or C, but anyone. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's right. What is it about C that makes it right? Exactly. Because temporary accessibility priming is about a recent event in the environment, such as talking to your parents and them saying, hey, you're going to be an option someday, right? Remember that's the deal? Okay. Whereas B could be more chronically accessible. Example, or I didn't specify anything to imply priming. Okay. We have 4 minutes. I'm not stopping. Okay. Because we're going to get too behind. But it's great to have these questions. I hope you guys find them useful. Let me just introduce where we're going. So give me my full 3 minutes, please. Okay. You guys are already feeling it in some of the questions you asked. What we're going to now talk about is schemas, how do we change them? What forces make it difficult for them to change? And we're going to start with the factors that push us to maintain our pre-existing beliefs, to maintain our schemas. And there's sort of this general term that's used to refer to these factors or forces that lead our schemas to stay the same, schema maintenance. I'm going to call them confirmation biases, confirming our pre-existing beliefs, tendencies, biases that push us to just stick with what we know. Okay? Refers to our tendencies to seek, interpret, and create information that verifies our pre-existing beliefs about the world. Which, as we will see on Monday, again, is, first of all, these are very powerful confirmation biases. And again, you're going to be struggling with, or you should be struggling with the thoughts, man, crap, it's so hard to change our schemas. Okay? On the one hand, you're going to be thinking that. Okay? On the other hand, I want you to remember the functionality of having stable beliefs about the world. Okay? It serves that broad motivation that I talked about earlier in the semester as a theme, our need for prediction and control and understanding. And it's good that we have some solid understanding about the world. And a lot of our knowledge about the world is accurate. Really, the person at the front of the lecture hall is probably the professor. Really, I am supposed to be quiet in this setting. Okay? There's so much information out there that is good to have and good to have stably that we don't want to change or to go away each night and start anew the next morning. Let's pick up on this on Wednesday. No, on Monday. See you guys next week.